Fear. Such a tantalizing word, isn't it? It grips, it sways, it puppeteers our lives in ways we rarely notice. But what if fear wasn't just an occasional visitor? What if it wove itself into the very fabric of your relationships, guiding your actions, your words, your silences? Today, my dear friend, we're venturing into the murky waters of fearful avoidant attachment, a paradoxical dance of yearning and retreat, of wanting closeness but fearing it all the same. Are you, perhaps, caught in this dance? Let's explore together. Allow me to paint a picture, a story if you will. Picture a bird, exquisite and radiant, its feathers shimmering in the sunlight. It flutters around a cage, door wide open, yet it hesitates to fly. The sky calls, the wind whispers, and still it stays perched, trembling. Why? The cage is safe, familiar, but the open sky, vast and unpredictable, terrifies the bird, and so it remains, a prisoner of its own fears. This, my friend, is the essence of fearful avoidance. It's not a refusal to love. No, that would be far too simple. It's a fear of what love demands: vulnerability, trust, the terrifying notion that you must risk being hurt to truly connect. I once knew a woman, let's call her Bethany. Ah, Bethany. She was magnetic, the kind of person you'd want to stand beside at a party. Brilliant, witty, charming, but beneath that glittering exterior lay an undercurrent of tension, a restlessness that never seemed to abate. Bethany craved intimacy. She would dive headlong into relationships, enamored by the connection. But just as quickly, she would retreat. A kind word, a lingering touch. These were not sources of comfort for Bethany, but triggers for panic. One day, over tea, she confided in me. "Why," she asked, "do I always push them away just when it feels like they're getting close?" I smiled, not unkindly, and said, "Bethany, it's not that you don't want love, it's that you fear what comes with it. To love is to hand someone the power to wound you, and that, my dear, terrifies you. Fearful avoidants are like tightrope walkers, balancing between a desperate need for connection and an equally desperate fear of it. They cling and then recoil, love and then flee. It's exhausting, for them and for those who care for them. Now let me tell you a story about Cillian, a man with a heart as vast as the ocean but walls as high as the heavens. Cillian had mastered the art of deflection. Compliments? He'd shrug them off. Intimacy? He'd sidestep it with wit. He was the life of the party, but a ghost in his own relationships. You see, Cillian believed that if he kept people at arm's length, he could avoid the inevitable pain of disappointment. What he didn't realize was that his armor not only kept the pain out, but also the joy. But here's the twist, dear friend. Fearful avoidants are not doomed. No, far from it. The same heart that fears can also heal. The same mind that retreats can learn to stay. But it begins with a question. Perhaps the very question you're asking now. Am I a fearful avoidant? Let me give you some signs, clues for your own introspection. Do you find yourself yearning for connection yet pulling away when it's offered? Do compliments make you uncomfortable? Do you overthink the smallest gestures, wondering what they might really mean? Do you feel safest in the space between closeness and distance, neither too far nor too near? If so, you might be caught in the web of fearful avoidance. But before you despair, let me tell you something hopeful. This attachment style, this dance of fear and longing, is not a life sentence. It's a story, yes, but one you can rewrite. And how does one begin? With awareness, of course. To understand that the fear you feel is not reality but a shadow of past wounds, echoes of times when trust was broken or love was conditional. And then there's courage. Not the loud, brash kind, but the quiet bravery of staying, even when every fiber of your being screams to run. It's choosing to lean into discomfort, to let someone see you. Not the mask, not the armor, but the raw, unguarded you, And finally, there's trust. Not blind trust, mind you, but the kind you build brick by brick, moment by moment. Imagine, if you will, that bird once more. There it sits, trembling at the edge of the open cage. But then, one day, it stretches its wings, not far, just a little, and hops to the threshold. The sky is still vast, still frightening, but it takes a breath and leaps. And oh, how it soars. This, my dear friend, is the journey of a fearful avoidant. From the confines of fear to the freedom of love, from retreat to embrace. It's not an easy path, no, but it is a worthwhile one. So I ask again, are you a fearful avoidant? If you are, know this. You are not broken, nor are you beyond repair. You are simply a bird learning to fly. And oh, how magnificent your flight will be when you finally take that leap. Take your time, be gentle with yourself, and when you're ready, spread those wings. The sky is waiting for you.